Hey, welcome back to P&W Repair. Tonight we are working on some more of the electrical system on the 6.2 Detroit lawnmower build. We have two other videos currently on electrical work on this project. If you haven't seen those, be sure to check those out. But we're going to get after it, see what else we can accomplish tonight. Stick with us. So, one of the things I managed to pick up that I talked about in the last video was a positive junction lug for some of my wiring. So I've kind of gone over different mounting locations of where I could put it. And I think the most convenient is probably going to be on the back side of where I have my glow plug relay mounted. Probably put it right in here. That way I can tag that glow plug relay right into that. I'm still on the right side of the machine, so I can run it up that harness up to my starter and then onto the alternator. The bulk of the harness, well, anything going up the engine is going to be on the right side of the machine. So that's also including, I got a 3-gauge set, water, voltage, and temperature. Just the cheapest set of gauges money can buy. That all of those wires are also going to be run up this side of the machine, just to keep all of that in the same side, keep it neat. So I think as far as this junction lug goes, we're going to hog some holes through this plastic right here and call that good. Maybe I should try that lower one in the metal, actually. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. Or should I do it to where I can utilize one of those bolts, hog out that hole to fit over that bolt? I like that. Let's do that. Fewer holes I got to drill, the better, right? It makes more sense. We're going to go with that idea. So, does that look like a 6mm? Sure. Why not? That'll work. It's still going to be a real classy looking unit, you know? See if I can drill through plastic without hogging a hole in my hand too. That'll work. All right. Put a couple 10mm. Jeez. Maybe an extension too, huh? How is it? Did I miss something here? Why is one of these metric and one of them is standard? Didn't I use the same bolts? Clearly not. The backside bolt, which is the one that I want to use, would sure appear to be 7/16 almost, is what it looks like. (7/16), maybe it's a 3/8? Probably a 3/8, huh? Nope. 7/16 it is. Man, I don't remember that. All right. That'll work. Those are a 1/2 inch, huh? Yep. Say that lug's loose. I should tighten that up, but that can wait. Does that look straight? Maybe? Straight-ish? What do you guys think? This will come to your side. Get a better view of what I'm doing. Well, it's a good thing I didn't hog it in there like that. You should have said something. That ain't straight. All right. I'm going to run with that. That looks good. Now I need a 1/2 inch wrench to tighten those up, the stud up. All right. See if I can get back on that bottom one. I'll have to tighten it up. That should work. So, yeah, don't mind me. Still the same garbage wire strippers. Gotta work with what you got though. This is what I currently have at the house, so it does the job. That's all that matters. What did was that a 3/8 stud that I bought? I think they're 3/8. Do I not have 3/8 terminals in here? Or is that a 5/16? Half an inch, that'd be, oh blank, half inch would be 3/8. Where are all my 3/8? Damn it. Does this set seriously not have 3/8 ring terminals in it? Yeah, it does. There they are. Beautiful. So as far as our relay, so our glow plug circuit, what all do I need left? I got, so I'll have my accessory power to the momentary switch I got to run, and then this wire, that's it. Or is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. When you stuff an 8-gauge wire in a 10 to 12 gauge ring terminal, just take some power. Get that thing crimped on there. Shrink that up. It would be nice if I had a butane torch here too. I don't. For whatever reason, I only have one of those, and it lives at work because I use it every day, or just about every single day. Do a lot of wiring. But a lighter works. Takes a bit longer, but we're not flat right here, so it don't matter. Just like that. Would you look at that? Is that factory? So I got the glow plug relay and the fan relay tied into my junction lug. I went from that to, I wanted to get my gauges mounted up. So I got those mounted up off camera. I'll show you what those look like. These are the finest Chinese garbage money can buy off Amazon. CN speed quality. So we'll get those all wired up. We'll continue out here tying everything into our junction block, into our ignition switch. We got a ways to go yet, but slow progress. So I've been working on getting these gauges all wired up, and I'm on to the backlighting circuit for the 3 gauges. Now, how I told you that these were the finest of Chinese quality Amazon had to offer, never kind of ceased to amaze that the pigtail that they supply with their bulb socket is not quite long enough to tie the 3 of them together and piggyback that supply line to the bulb. So naturally, being that it's that high quality Chinese junk, I had to go ahead and solder on the thinnest wire I had, which I think these bulbs, this is probably 20 gauge, maybe 22 gauge wire, but the smallest diameter wire I had was 18 gauge, so we've upgraded on it. So at this point, I'm going to heat shrink. I'm going to put some heat shrink on each of these solder joints. And then down here, I'm going to splice these 3 lines into one 16 gauge wire, and then I'll run that to that, well, actually I'll be running that to the run position of the ignition switch is how I'm going to do it. Just to where when we're in the run position, it'll be supplies voltage and we'll have backlighting to the gauges. That makes the most sense to me anyway. So we'll go ahead and go that route. Is there like a size that's somewhere in between here? That'd be terrific. That actually fit, maybe? What are these? What is 1/12 of an inch? These didn't come from China or anything, right? What kind of measurement is 1/12 of an inch? Well, that's actually an SAE measurement, 1/8 inch. Let's try that. Those will work. We'll do 1/8 inch heat shrink on them. Works for me. So I've taken it upon myself to go ahead and continue with the wiring on this off camera to save you guys from watching a 10-hour video on wiring this thing. This will be the final video as far as the electrical system goes. It will be completely wired up by the end of it, but I kind of wanted to give you an update on some of the progress I've made tonight out here. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll go over some of the things you haven't seen yet. I did end up having a custom stencil made just to make a really wicked bad radiator. So we got that done up. I just finished up making my battery cables. So I ended up picking up some batteries the other night. I've made a nice battery box and nice hold down. Got the crossovers. We got 2 big old Group 65s. Made up the cables. And at this point, I can actually key on. I don't have my switch power to the solenoid on the starter yet, so I can't crank, but I can key on and, you know, verify the backlighting on the gauges and the fan. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And I mean, nothing's burned down yet with the battery hooked up, so we'll see what happens. I hear a fan going. We clearly got backlighting there, so that's something. I can feel the wind moving off of that thing. Perfect, and it's pulling like it should. So that's good signs. At this point, what do we got for electrical left? We got to figure out the alternator situation. I got to run a wire from the starter motor up to the alternator. Then I got the two-pin connector on the alternator. Got to look at the schematic, see what I'm doing with that. And then what? Then the switch power up to the fuel shutoff solenoid on the injection pump. And honestly, I think that's it. Oh no, I have not run a battery power and ground to my voltage gauge. I guess I have that left too, which I don't really care at the moment, but I'll wire it up too because, you know, the gauge is there. But otherwise, after that, the electrical system is done on this. I mean, as long as I did everything correctly. I still, before we fire it up, I got to pull this power steering pump off. We're not using a power steering pump. I could just cut the belts, but I'm the kind of guy that hoards, you know, crappy old belts just in case I ever need it. So I'm absolutely not going to do that. I'll take the time to pull the pump off, pull the alt belt off, and pull the power steering belts off just so I can, you know, put them in a box and forget about them. What a treat. We are officially 100% done with the electrical system on this mower. I gotta get probably a 50 or 68 amp maxi fuse. Turns out 30 is too small to run the glow plugs and all this other things going to that junction lug. But if I don't cycle the glow plugs, everything will work just fine. Key on, fan should turn on, backlighting on the gauge will turn on, voltage lifter on, the voltage gauge is on. We have just under 13 volts in the batteries right now. There's no oil in the motor, no water in the motor, but I'll bump it to show you the cranks. Crankage. So, next step is our fuel system. So I have a new lift pump. The nipple on that lift pump I broke off when it was sitting on the engine crate that it was on. So I have a new lift pump to put on it. I have the Montgomery Ward's fuel tank I'm going to be running. I have to get some big zip ties to strap that down. Then we'll run our inlet up to the lift pump, and I have a couple 1/4-inch hose barb unions that I'm going to tag one into the top of this tank to run our return line. After that, we'll add oil to it, add water to it, check for leaks, and it'll be time to light this thing off. So we're very close to that point. I was wrong. One other big thing that I keep forgetting for whatever reason, I have to figure out the fitting sizes for the oil cooler lines over here. I'm not going to be running an oil cooler. I'm going to loop these. Probably have a hose made or something and just loop the oil cooler inlet and outlet here. But that being the final thing before we fire this pig up. So, great success. Till we get to the fuel system. Catch you guys on the next one.